Okay. Let's see if I can do this too. See if I can record onto my computer. Sorry, guys, I'm going to try to record on my computer at the same time. Oh, perfect. I am actually recording at the same time. Double dipping, everybody. Yes. So you inherit these things that you get from your parents. You didn't get a choice. None of you got a choice in what you look like. I unfortunately am 5'9" and about 175 to 80 pounds, depending on what day it is, how much weight I've lost, and how much I'm running outside. All right. I didn't get to choose this height. If I could be, 2 to 3 inches taller, I'd love it. All right. Why? Just a little bit of leverage. My arm span is about 5 foot. I could use maybe a couple inches of wingspan when carrying large objects. That would be nice, but I don't get that choice. Now, those of you who are shorter right now, if you're shorter right now, please realize that you may not be shorter all the time, or you might. Okay, you don't really get a choice. It is what it is. And your inheritance is what you get from your parents. And you're going to be probably a nice blend between the two. Maybe you look more like your mom. Maybe you look more like your dad. Maybe you look more like a combination in between the two. All right. Maybe you look more like your grandpa or your grandma or somebody that you're related to. Great. Okay. I don't really happen to look greatly like my parents. Okay. Not exact. There's some similarities. All right. My brother would argue that I don't look much like him. We do have some similarities. My sister, and there's some similarities. Okay. And so when we think about the characteristics that you have, some characteristics are better than others for surviving. Like us and human beings, we have these things. Our thumbs. Thumbs are awesome. The fact that they're opposable thumbs are like the best thing that we could have, because they are thinking in science that this is one of the ways that is brought about our huge jump in intelligence, because we have the ability to do these big things like grip a baseball, but we can do something as very fine as stitch using a sewing needle. Okay, we can do very fine, delicate things. Okay, think about surgeons who can put delicate, tiny stitches when they're operating, but we can also do things like, well, some people enjoy throwing axes for fun. Whatever, I guess. I mean, to each their own. All right. And so if you figure out what characteristics you have that makes you unique, that you can do that are unique from other things, awesome. Okay. And so in order to do this kind of as a survival thing, I know that you guys won't be able to do this right now. So I'm going to do this as a quick demonstration. All right. Maybe I might have somebody help me compete here. I wish I had, you guys could do this in your groups, but well, situation we can't. All right. It would be as many rounds of competition as you have food objects. I happen to have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5. Okay. Make sure that you follow the directions that I give you carefully. Keep track if you're able to eat or not eat, meaning you can get 2 to 3 pieces of food. And in all things, have fun doing this, because it's a fun and friendly competition. So here's what happens. In your household, okay, you are going to, between you and your competition people, whoever that might be, you're going to choose your beak. Now, however you decide to do that is up to you. I always advocate for youngest getting to go first, then to oldest, but that's just me, because being the oldest, I can set the rules. Most teachers go youngest to oldest, but you're going to select your beak. Now, when you look at this, okay, I have broken my computer. It's thinking. Sorry, guys, it's thinking. We'll see if this, hopefully this doesn't crash. I'm double crossing my fingers and my toes. It's thinking. It's thinking. Don't think too much. It's trying to change cameras. So you've got things while it's, uh-oh, I stalled. There we go. All right. Sorry, I'm pulling a lot of strength on this computer right now, and we're doing the best we can. So if I were to look at my plate here, I could have something like a pair of tweezers. Now, yes, don't use your parents' good tweezers. I'm borrowing this one. It's a relatively good pair. People are looking at me in the hallway like, uh-oh, don't steal my stuff. I'll wash it. All right. You could have a spoon. I just borrowed this little spoon. All right. Yes, it's a little baby spoon that we have hanging around. No babies here, but just you have it around. I couldn't find a pipette. If you have like an eyedropper, that works great. I picked a straw. I have a toothpick here. And then if you have not tweezers, but something like a clothespin would be great. The only reason I wouldn't suggest pliers is if you notice, pliers work basically the same as your tweezers. Okay, so you'd want something just a little bit different. I don't know if I have anything different nearby that might actually work. I don't know. There's a lot of different options. I mean, 4 is a good choice. So in order to do this correctly, you'll pick whichever one. I need help. Come on, trusty assistant. Yes, I need my trusty assistant to help me. All right, choose your bird beak. Which one are you going to choose? Okay, you're going to go tweezers. All right, she's going tweezers. I'm going to go, what do you think I should do? Should I use toothpick, spoon, straw? Ideas? No ideas? No comments? I'll see. Type in what you think real quick. I'll see what you guys think. No one's thinking. Everybody's disappearing. Awesome. Hands? No, hands are not. I'm a bird. Ooh, straw, spoon. See a straw, spoon. Hands don't count. We're birds. We're birds. Hands don't count. Toothpick. Tweezers. Tweezers were already taken. Toothpick, spoon, 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 spoon. I see spoons. All right, spoons have it. Spoons have it. All right, so we'll just leave this off to the side. All right, I'm going to leave those over there, off on my table right here. Now, the fun part about doing this is, yeah, wings. Okay, birds don't eat with their wings. Okay, that's a little bit tricky. Okay, hands. Birds don't have hands. Remember, you're a bird right now. So if I were to do this, I'm going to use my left hand because I'm right-handed. You're going to use your non-dominant hand. So in my case, I'm going to use my left hand. She's right-handed. She's going to use her left hand. And then the fun thing to do, take your other hand and you put it behind your back so you're not cheating. Now, we're going to start with, by far, the easiest food source. We're going to start here. We'll start with gummy worms. All right. I just happen to have gummy worms. There you go. Ooh, chopsticks, good choice. Ooh, chopsticks would be an interesting choice. If I had chopsticks, I could use that. You could definitely use that as a bird beak type. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for 20 seconds. Okay. We're going to go for 20. Hey, stop cheating. She's cheating. All right. So we're going to go for 20 seconds and we are going to see how many pieces of food we can pick up. All right.
Where are we putting them?
Just right by you. Okay. You might say, well, maybe I want to stick this in my mouth. Probably not the best idea. Again, we don't know where this spoon has been. It did came out of the dishwasher, but who knows? I don't know about that pair of tweezers. That's, yeah, gross. All right. So on your mark, get set, 20 seconds, and go. Oh boy, I am doing terrible.
You're not just supposed to like.
I can't scoop them. I can't scoop them up. All right, I'm done. All right. So obviously, how well did that work for me? Obviously, how well did that work for me? Pretty terrible. How well did it work for her? Crushed it. Okay. Definitely crushed it. Now, let's say that we're going to switch it to a different food. Yeah, great for her, terrible for me. All right, let's switch back. Yep, not good yet. She's chosen Cheerios. All right, yeah, she did really good. I did horrible. All right, so let's try another food. Okay, Failuresburg for me. All right, so now we've got Cheerios. Try it again. All right, 20 seconds. On your mark, get set, go. Boy, this spoon is really not easy to work with. One. Oh, I can't flip. Oh, look, I got 2. Yeah, you're having trouble there.
My tweezers are too small.
Yeah, haha. See how that works? Ha 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 ha. Oh.
I'm not doing too bad though.
No, you're not doing too bad. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, and time's up. Okay. She got about the same number I did. I got, what does it look like?
You got 4.
5, 4, 5. You got about 5 or 6. Not bad. Use my mouth. That'd be a great idea if I were a human being. Okay. If I were a human being, that would be awesome. But we're supposed to be birds here. Okay, so right now, she'd be fine. I'd be struggling. Okay. This spoon, this little spoon, is actually really, really tough to use. It's much smaller than a regular spoon. Okay, let's go to something fun. How about we try, let's make your life a little bit tougher. Yes, I know I'm not social distancing. That's what happens when you're in the same house. All right. Oh, let's try some nerds. All right, let's try some nerds. We're just demoing this. Just have some.
We still have to do this left-handed?
Yeah, still have to do this left-handed.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So if you look at me, okay, I've got a spoon. Probably not going to work very well. All right. On your mark, get set, go. Oh, boy. Oh, geez. I literally can't do. Well, I am on the struggle bus. Nope. This is what happened. Oh, boy. All right, 3. Yeah, I know. I could push them off the plate. That would work. All right, and stop. All right. Yeah, I could push them off my plate with my spoon, but if I think about it, if I'm a bird and I push it off my plate, well, now it's fallen onto the ground. If it falls onto the ground, how am I going to be able to scoop that up if it's in the ground, okay, or if it's buried in the grass, okay? That's going to be a tricky part. This spoon has actually been more difficult than the other. Yeah, I could use my beak. It'd be great, but the problem is it's down in, like, tall grass. I can't really scoop underneath it. It's going to be really tricky. All right, here we go. Another one. I got some Pringles here. All right. Now, if we look at this, ready, set, go. This one would be much easier for me. Maybe. Okay. If you know, well, it was easier. I'm going to grab 2 here. Okay. Got it. I totally got it. Stop. You're a terrible bird.
Sabotage.
Yeah, sabotage. All right. So there we go. Now, spoons, tweezers work really well for this. What if I was a toothpick? Would I have much luck if I was a toothpick with this one? Probably not, because I'm going to end up stabbing through this and doing a whole lot of damage. Okay? This is where Freeman people, this is where Mr. Floth set in a rule. Okay? And what happens is people won't be able to do this very well. Okay? If you do it very gently, you might be able to do it like I did. But what happens is people who try to stab down with their toothpick, it ends up crushing it and breaking it. And then you get frustrated, and then you just start stabbing things. Don't end up doing that, because it ruins the fun for everybody. And we don't want that, because this is supposed to be a lot of fun. All right, now, let's go to one last one. What if we change from a solid bird feeder to now a liquid bird feeder? All right, let's take a look. I've got this. I can put my toothpick. I've got a straw. Where'd my straw go?
Right here.
All right, perfect. Okay, and all of this. On your mark, get set, go. Yeah, look at that. Ha, I got that. Yeah, what's up now? Yeah, you can't do anything. Yeah, so she can't do anything. I've got a very, very easy time. So everybody say thank you to my help here. Thank you to my help. See, she's great help. All right. So when we look at it, you can go back to your whatever you were doing. That's right. Have fun. All right. So when we look at it, okay, obviously in this case, tweezers were the winner. Okay. Tweezers were our winner. Okay. My spoon, usually the spoon, when we do this in person or in your guys' classes, usually it's a little bit more successful. I think the problem is with this one, if you notice, it has a very deep scoop in there. You see how kind of deep that is a little bit? Okay, and that makes it a little bit tougher. If you use a little bit flatter spoon, works pretty well. For this activity, the toothpick probably would have been kind of successful. Okay, you probably would have been able to stab the gummy worms pretty easily. If you're very gentle, you could probably get the Pringles. If you were very careful, you might be able to flip up underneath and maybe snag the Cheerio pretty easily. The Nerds, definite failure. Okay. And the water, toothpick in the water, yeah, probably a huge failure. Now, when you think about the straw wouldn't have much luck with the solids. Okay. You probably couldn't suck up the Cheerio. Okay. You probably couldn't suck up the Nerds or the gummy worm or the chips. But could you suck up the water with your straw? Not like this. Okay. Birds don't do that. Could I actually put the straw in here, put my finger on top, and actually pick up some water? I actually can. So that would be a definite advantage for a straw. Straw would be the only one where liquids would be your best. And when we think about it, guys, okay, when we think about it, this is where we get into our niche and our adaptations, okay? So I'm going to give you a minute, and I want you to look at this bottom question on this PowerPoint real quick, okay? And the bottom question says, why do different birds have many different beaks? Okay, just think about that for a second. Why do we have so many different birds with so many different beaks? I know that you guys have lots of ideas. I'd love to share that. Oh, somebody just kind of popped in an idea. Go ahead and maybe write down an idea that everyone kind of has. Just kind of shoot down a quick idea of what you think. I'm going to read some of the ideas here real quick. Why do we have such different beaks? What do you think? Give you guys some time to think. This is a tricky part about Zoom meetings, guys. They eat different food. They are different. Yeah, it suits them because they're different kinds of birds. Different needs. Great. They all eat different things. Not sure. Different locations and food types. The birds can eat food. Good. Eat different things. They're unique. Okay. All right. Good ideas. Different places they live for different food. Absolutely. Okay. So some of you know this because you have been with me and we did this before. So if you think about it, when we had something like the Pringles, were we both able to go after the Pringles pretty easily? And that would be a yes. All right. When there was gummy worms, we both were able to fight over those gummy worms. We could kind of fight over the Cheerios, right? And so if you've ever been to bird feeders, if you watch them, you notice that there's birds that go after the same types of food, all right? And so when things go after the same type of food, you have a lot of competition. And when you run into competition, you're going to have it where not everything survives the same amount of time. You know, we're kind of learning that the hard way right now, that people who have had underlying health conditions with the virus that's floating around is making it very hard for survival to happen. Sometimes this virus is affecting people who are much older. Sometimes this virus is affecting people that are much younger. And remember, even in life, not everybody is going to live the same amount of time. And so we all like different types of food. Okay, my favorite type of food probably may not be the same as yours or anybody else's. But we can all agree that chocolate chip cookies are pretty darn good. Unless you can't eat them, even then you could still have your gluten-free and whatever lactose-free chocolate. Okay? We can all agree, generally speaking, that chocolate chip cookies are one of the best foods. If you disagree, I'm sorry. That's just a bad opinion. But when we really think about it, I'm kidding, guys. Don't be serious. There are so many different types of birds. And like I said, they all have different beaks. Well, why do they have different beaks? Because they all eat different food. And if you eat different food, that means you're going to avoid competition. All right? Look at all these different bird beaks that we've got here. Take a look. okay? There are so many different types, all right? Something that's called a generalist would be like a crow that can eat insects and bugs and grains. And even if you see, I've seen a lot of crows on the side of the road scavenging dead things. But if I'm a hummingbird, I am tiny and I need tons of energy. All right. I've got to flap my wings forever. If you've ever watched hummingbirds, they move ridiculously fast. Do you think they have time to sit around and chew up some, sunflower seeds to get to the meaty part of the sunflower on the inside? Definitely not. Okay. They don't have time for that. So because we have different beaks, we have so many different types of things that you can eat. And by figuring out what you can do better than others, why is Ariel out of water? Aerial fishing, is that what you're talking about? The aerial fishing right here? There's aerial fishing and pursuit fishing. They're kind of two different types of birds, and they are two different location. A pursuit one is going to have to be somewhere more like an ocean where the fish are going to move generally at a much faster rate. An aerial fisher is going to be someone that's going to be able to pick things off at like a lake where they can just come in quick and then pick it off and come back. All right. A filter feeder are your flamingos. They sit there. They basically have a shovel. All right. There's all sorts of really interesting and different things. And it's all about being different than others so you don't have to fight over the same food source. Okay. If we're all fighting over the same food source, we're running into problems. We're seeing this with grocery stores right now. Everybody, for some reason, when the news of the virus outbreak was talking, what was the thing they stocked up on? Toilet paper. Okay. So we all went out and bought toilet paper. Right now, it's hard to keep it in stock. There's a lot of competition for it. So if you already had a good stock of toilet paper, you really didn't have to compete that much. You're able to wait a little bit and then go back to normal. Okay. Once there's kind of a massive charge of things on a certain thing, you're going to get a lot of fighting over the substances. It's the same with birds at bird feeders and over food. You can see it in nature all the time, right? The more you can do something that's different or outside what everybody else does, then you'll be successful. It's kind of like this. Figure out what you're good at. Figure out what your niche is, what the thing is that you do really well, and get really good at it. Not to say don't work on your weaknesses. Okay? I know what I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at certain things. There's things I really struggle with. Still need to work on those. But emphasize your strengths. Figure out what it is that you do. And if everybody else is cooking hamburgers, don't cook hamburgers. Don't be like everybody else. Make tacos. Be completely different than everybody else. Be successful. Carve out a niche. Which is why a company like Zoom right now is being successful. Their video conferencing software is being used now by so many different people, right? It's why it's taking off. It's a niche. It's something that is very unique and different from other people. So before I go, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask any questions, all right? I understand if you like hamburgers more, that's great. You can do that, but you want to find something else that's different. Or if you make a hamburger, you better make a different hamburger than everybody else. Okay. Now, questions that you have. Now it's time for questions, not random comments about toilet paper. Why do I sound like Matt? Probably the fact that I'm in my room, it's a little bit more dead in here. It doesn't echo as much. And the computer microphone. So it probably sounds like Matt. So anyway, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and end this. Just remember when we've got the chat thing going on, we are going to use it for what we need to use it for. Don't want to have to shut that down. Ice cream, great choice. You can never go wrong with vanilla, and because vanilla is a good palate for adding so much other great stuff to it. I hope you guys have a great week. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We're going to do the same time next week. Same time. Next topic is going to be, oh, my list is downstairs. It's on there. I will send out a reminder notification. Have a great week, guys. Enjoy the nice weather before it gets kind of cruddy this weekend. We'll work on this. If you don't want to jump in the Zoom next week, now that this stream's live on the YouTube, that link that your teacher sent for the YouTube link should work. I haven't gotten canceled yet, which is awesome. Yeah, have a great week, guys. See you guys. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome, guys.
Dave's God here. I am gonna.
Hey, that's unmuted. Who is that? Bye, Isaac.
Bye.